in the Odd Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm D.
This week, all the world's a game, and the players merely programs.
We're all electronic, man. Tron from 1982.
The NCOM 511 computer. Center of the most calculating intelligence on Earth. Within it, there exists an unknown civilization where man has never been. A startling new world where time and distance defy the laws of logic. Trapped inside an electronic arena where love and escape do not compute.
Yeah.
What the fuck did I just watch? What happened?
So, here's the thing. In a weird way, I want to rewatch the Tron Legacy now.
Well, yeah, me too.
Because I feel like that was actually better than this.
Oh, it was way better than this. And now, and the problem is that we watched it before this, and it made me understand this less. I was confused by this because of that. Although I don't think it's that thing's fault. This movie's confusing as fuck.
Well, okay, so here's the problem. I appreciate that it jumps right in.
It does.
At the same time, you're expected to know...
Yes, you're always expected to know what's going on, and there's no way you know. Did they play a short before this that explained the rules of the universe?
I mean, maybe, because it was kind of confusing, because there's one part in the movie where the central computer or whatever was like, have him go against somebody of his own kind. So that other guy is also a user? So how did he get in there?
Yeah, there were no other users. They weren't,
But he said...
I know, but it wasn't true. That never happened.
So, but that's what I mean. Why would you say that? That doesn't make any sense.
Why did they do half the things they did in this? It made no sense at all. It was like, what's going on here? But I liked it. Kind of.
I think it's a really good concept. It's an interesting idea. I have some notes on how it would have... It would work better under a different format.
Right. I get that. It just...
Good idea.
And it's kind of cool, but it is so assumptive. Like, it just assumes that you know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, and I feel as though, not that you want to do too much exposition, but I think...
It needed a good 10 minutes more to add layers to the movie.
You know what this feels like? It feels like I just stepped into somebody's freaking Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Yeah, it really does.
And I'm supposed to know all the rules, who the bad guys are.
I wish...
The levels of everybody.
I wish off the top of my head I could remember what the space version of Dungeons and Dragons is called, so it would be funny in this moment, but I can't remember.
God damn it. Hold on. Is that a thing?
There's a similar tabletop game that's space.
Spelljammer?
No, that's newer. That's a card game. That's fun. We played that.
Oh, Adventures in Space, Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. That's the only one that comes up. But
yeah, you'd have to do a deep dive to do it. It's something ultra nerdy.
Such a nerd. Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you want to stream Elton John live? No, on Disney Plus. I don't. I want to read the synopsis. Okay, Tron from 1982. Science fiction, family, action, adventure. When brilliant video game maker Flynn hacks the mainframe of his ex-employer, he is beamed inside an astonishing digital world and becomes part of the very game he is designing. In his mission through cyberspace, Flynn matches wits with a maniacal master control program and teams up with Tron, a security measure created to bring balance to the digital environment.
Okay, that's accurate.
Yeah, it just... I don't know. I just think that there's just a lot unexplained.
It's a weird movie. It's very unexplained. They could have just added a little more. And see, I think they were just going for special effects with all the money they made, and they forgot that they needed to enrich the story, which they could have done cheaply because the regular shot portions of this look good and are nice, and they could have just done a little bit more regular shooting rather than the weird shadow shit with the circuit things.
Yeah. This feels as though it's a sequel to a movie that never existed.
Right. That's a very good point.
Because it feels the whole thing where, and I keep wanting to say Kurt Russell's not Kurt, where Jeff Bridges is a younger person and the whole thing
right. And
happens.
Where Tron is already a thing.
Right.
It just feels, yeah, you're right. It feels like a sequel to a movie that never existed.
Right.
Papali.
It's kind of weird.
The first movie should have been Jeff Bridges' character as a programmer. It should have been that movie of him getting his video games stolen, and that would have actually made it a good trilogy.
Well, and then he could have had something.
They should have made the prequel.
Well, and then it could have had something where, he designed the thing that he knew he was going to get sucked into the thing. Like,
right.
They could have changed it to where he put that back in at the end of the first one. They're like, what are you going to do? And he's like, I have a secret entrance.
And okay, so if I'm correct, he's alive in the second movie, hiding on the outskirts of his own program, Clue. Which they mentioned Clue for 4 seconds in this.
Okay, that's another thing that we'll get to that which we'll discuss. But yeah, there's just a lot that doesn't really, and maybe we need to watch the second one again. I don't know. But,
No. We shouldn't need to watch the second one again for this shit to make sense.
Correct, sir.
Yeah, it's just I'm confused.
Because had I not seen the second one, I would have been super confused. I'd been like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, pretty much. I thought I was confused on the second one.
So, our director, Steve Lisberger, he did Kat's favorite movie, Animalympics.
Hey, I fucking love Animalympics. I think it's hilarious, it's ridiculous, and it's so stupid.
And he did a great John Cusack film in the late 80s, Hot Pursuit, with John Cusack and Robert Loggia.
Okay, I was going to ask, but if I didn't know what that was.
It's just a stupid movie.
Robert Loggia. Yeah. And then he also wrote it, but then also 2 other people wrote it. Bonnie McBird and Charles S. Haas.
Yeah, and this is basically their only thing is Tron stuff.
Hey, Charles Haas did Gremlins 2.
Wow.
It's very important.
Wow. Gremlins 2, what up? So our actor's Jeff Bridges, we all know. He's the Big Lebowski.
He's also a very important character in The Last Unicorn. I'm just throwing that out there.
He was in True Grit, the remake.
I feel as though he didn't really get super famous till he got old. Is that accurate?
Well, no, I think this movie made him super famous. Even though this movie, we'll get to how well it did, this movie is extremely famous.
Well, yeah, for the tech.
For the tech and for the world and for the weirdness, like, there are a lot of Gen Xers who absolutely fucking love this movie. And they got into tech because of this movie.
I mean, I feel as though wasn't it kind of a string of movies? It was like this and War Games and all these other
Sure. But I think this
movies.
I think this was the first one.
Probably. Yeah, that's probably true. And then Bruce Boxleitner.
Who was Alan, who was Tron.
He's Tron.
Not if my Tron program was running. That shut the system down.
Alan.
Where did you hear that name?
Well, that's your name, isn't it?
The name of my user. We can't get to the MCP without the help of my user.
He just did a ton of TV movies, and then he was on Babylon 5, apparently, which is some TV show.
Yeah, he did. Well, that was a big TV show.
Well,
That's
I know.
like one of the biggest sci-fi shows of all time.
Just some TV show.
And he did 88 episodes as some guy on that. It's like, okay, he did pretty good. And he did a bunch of Christmas movies, like Hallmark Lifetime style movies, which is like, okay. I mean, I see you.
You got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Clearly this didn't.
I agree. And then David Warner, who was Dillinger, who was barely in this movie. Oh, by the way, there's like 5 or 6 actors in this movie, and that's it.
Okay, so this guy, though, he's another character actor guy who's been in 5 million TV episodes.
That's funny, because the first thing I put is character.
he always plays either a priest, a doctor, or a like a professor. He always plays one of those types of characters.
Right.
Are you having trouble reading or writing?
Shit, yes, I'll never know what I said there, but his biggest role besides this was probably in Star Trek VI, a secondary villain.
I mean, I was going to say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. He was one of the scientists of the ooze.
I don't know about that. And then Laura, our hot chick, Cindy Morgan.
She was in Caddyshack, I guess?
She was the hot chick in Caddyshack.
I mean, I guess.
When I saw her in this, I was like, why is that hot girl in this? Why? She's way too hot to be in this. And then at the end, when I found out who she actually is, and you've seen her naked, it's like, oh, shit.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she gets naked multiple times in Caddyshack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's the hot.
I'm
She's the hot girl.
surprised
in
that Disney
Caddyshack.
hired her.
This was before that. Caddyshack came out like 2 years later.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saw you in that Disney film. We want you to take off that Tron suit.
And then she did a bunch of TV work, but it's amazing that she ever did any more work. It just...
Yeah, she's not a very good actress.
Well, no.
Daddy wanted to broaden me.
In this place, good luck.
What do you do for excitement?
Yeah, watch Caddyshack again, and you'll see what her acting is made for one thing. Taking her clothes off.
Yikes. And then Ram was played by Dan Shore, who was Billy the Kid in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yep, and then a bunch of TV as well.
Including Dee's favorite, the Beauty and the Beast TV show with what's his face? What's that guy's name? The guy from Sons,
I'm
Sons of Anarchy.
I'm blanking on his name.
What the fuck is that guy's name? Hold on. He's got some.
I feel like he's done nothing.
Oh, Ron Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman. Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast, Ron Perlman. He did some other TV stuff, but he hasn't done much beside that.
And then Barnard Hughes. He was the grandpa in The Lost Boys.
I completely forgot his name, so I just wrote old guy.
Old guy, yeah. He was the old guy in the thing. And he was in Doc Hollywood, which I appreciate because I love that movie. Michael J. Fox vehicle where he's a plastic surgeon. One of the last movies he did before he had his problems.
Gotcha.
Funny little movie.
It's a funny little film. Do you have any fun facts?
I do. This movie was not available for the Academy Awards because they thought CGI was quote-unquote cheating.
I mean, it is kind of cheating in my opinion.
They're cheating.
Practical effects are usually better.
They're always better.
I also had that too, which is just funny because that's the only thing that was praisable about this movie apparently, and they were like, nope, sorry, it's cheating.
Fuck you guys, haha, and all the money you spent,
Jeff Bridges had to wear a dance belt to conceal his huge schlong in the Tron outfit.
Wow, who knew that? That's insane.
Because the outfit was too tight.
Jeff Bridges got a big dick.
They were like, that's too sexy for Disney. This isn't Labyrinth. Come on. Let's make it for kids.
Jeff Bridges apparently they let everybody play video games in between shots, and Jeff Bridges was the best at it, and they had a hard time peeling him away. Nerd. So big dick nerd.
Yeah. Due to a poor box office return from this movie and the previous live-action movie, Disney Studios did not make another live subject film for 10 years.
So, okay, that's what I wanted to look up, because I still don't understand what the fuck that really means. What's live subject? Because there's live action movies all in between. It's just not all animation. What the fuck does live subject mean?
Maybe they just mean Disney Studios. Maybe it's a different studio that did those other ones.
Look at our list.
It must just be a different studio because...
It's all Disney Studios if it's on the list.
I don't know, because there's a bunch of live action in between. So
that's what I mean. I don't understand what the hell they're talking about.
Live subject.
Yeah, it's dubious.
It's
because look at what's the next year? What's the 10th year of this? 1992.
Yeah.
What movie is live subject at that point?
Newsies.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Or Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. I don't know.
Oh, no, because Honey, I Shrunk the Kids would be the same shit. I think they're just bullshitting. Sometimes
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is after I Blew Up the Kid. By the way, I think.
No, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is the first movie.
I don't think so.
No, 100%. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is the first of the series.
Hold on.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, okay, great. You don't know about that. I do. I was alive at the time. You were like an infant. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is the original LOL special effects cool movie. I can't wait till we fucking roll it.
Oh, wait, I see it now.
Never ending story.
Do you have any other fun facts?
Oh.
Or can we get going on the rest of this?
Oh, the cubicles in the office were a picture of the Disney IT cubicles. They looked very real, and I thought that was kind of...
They looked very depressing.
Yeah. That's what I mean, very real.
Got real, bro. Okay, just a second. I'm a little nervous about my notes because there were parts when I realized that I was kind of not taking notes. I was like, oh shit, what was
Cat. This movie's almost impossible to get through.
Okay. Well, we'll do our best.
No, we will do our best, but...
We will light cycle our way through this?
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it's just as fast as light cycle because... Whew, it's a rough one.
We'll do our best. It's fine. We'll do our darndest.
We'll do our darndest. So we open the movie of programs versus programs.
Yeah, and at first I was like, oh, there's people inside because they're at the arcade and it's showing somebody playing the light cycle game, but it's actually people playing. So I'm thinking, so are the people controlling them or are they controlling them? I don't know.
It's unclear. And the light cycle rules are just unclear in the first place.
Well, it's like you have to make the other person run into your...
Into a wall.
Into your track, basically.
Or a wall.
Yeah. They're programs, not people. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. They're programs, not people.
And then we get Jeff Bridges and Clue, whatever the hell Clue is.
That sure is a mystery. Yeah, it sounds super hard. Whoever did it must have been angry with the school. Oh. Ooh. I think I'm getting a clue. Really? Yeah, this is totally giving me a clue right now. Oh. I'm starting to get a clue, too. My clue's kind of pointing this way. Oh.
His
looking
program.
For his file.
Yeah. And
he looks like Eddie Vedder, kind of, when he's young, which is funny.
A little bit. And we get this weird battle of the field goal, upside down field goal monsters.
Yeah, the recognizers.
But I remember from the second one, those things were like carrying all the people. Or all the programs. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, there's a huge... We can't talk about the second one when we talk about this.
So confusing. So Clue gets captured and tortured, and then he ultimately becomes part of the program?
Master Control Program, yeah.
The Matrix?
Well, that's the whole thing. Everything is the Master Control Program. The Master Control Program. The Master Control Program.
Yeah. And then our kind of main villain, Dillinger, who's the CEO of Encom? Is that the name of the company? Encom. And I didn't know that this was a video game company. I thought it was some sort of weird other thing.
It's unclear.
But apparently they make video games. And he's talking to the master control system, like having a full-blown conversation. Yep. Not even having to type anything in.
Yep.
Which seems a little ahead of its time, but it's fine. Whatever. And essentially the master control program is like, I'm going to take over everything. Get me that Chinese language thing I asked for.
Right. And in the meantime, Alan's like, why did I lose my level 7 access? Tron was going to monitor the master control program. And the master control program's like, that bitch can't monitor my shit. Yeah. I broke into the Pentagon last week.
I'm so funny. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we go into a laser lab where they're trying to Willy Wonka some fruit into the program.
Yeah, they disappear in orange and reappear it.
It doesn't reappear.
It does. They 3D print it back out.
They never showed it 3D printing back out.
Yes, they did.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I thought they just sent it into the Matrix. And
No. They send it into the Matrix and they send it right back out. So
you got Alan and Laura, these two nerds with matching glasses.
Who apparently are fucking, but they have no chemistry at all.
But she used to date this Flynn guy.
Yeah, who's like the stud.
But she's... Okay, and this, I will say, they really tracked her character with her program because she's just a fair weather female because she's like, oh, you got the axe? I'm going to go fuck this guy now.
Right.
And at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, she's just making out with everybody left and right.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean. That's the same character she was in Caddyshack.
Just saying. Oh, so then we go to the arcade because they need to go warn Flynn
about Dillinger, who's gonna do something to him.
Who knows that he's in there sneaking around, basically. Right. And
so he comes clean with them. He's like, hey, Dillinger stole all my games, and that's why he's the senior executive vice president.
But real quick, I gotta tell you something about the arcade.
Okay.
They reused the same clip from the very beginning of the movie. when you go into the arcade, it's the same exact, like, people, like, on a loop.
Oh, that's fine.
No, it's not. It's weird. It's
No, it's
off-putting. But yes, he comes clean and he's like, oh, they stole my idea. I'm basically...
No, they not his idea. They stole his programs, his games. Flat out stole everything he created.
Yeah.
He did. Not even they. Just Dillinger.
I feel like you'd have to have knowledge and, like, explain, and it just doesn't really make sense.
No,
he could just be like, that's mine.
It really doesn't. It just, like, you stole it and you got it to the board first and you say it's yours.
It doesn't track to me.
It does track in the 80s. There's no... You gotta remember, there's no cameras or technology. It's just like, this guy has it and you don't. What are you talking about? Yeah. Fuck you.
It's weird. I don't know. Bizarre. Yeah. So they're gonna help Flynn break in, but really he can just break in himself.
There's no real reason why they're gonna help him. They just decide that all of a sudden they're gonna risk their jobs and livelihood to help him. Is it because he wants to get Tron going? I don't know.
I think that was the implied reason, is he wanted his access back.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. There's a lot of implications in this movie. A lot of like, oh, if you go to this, you'll see we really wanted to mean this, and see this and see that.
These are not the droids you're looking for. Right. And then all of a sudden the MCP is threatening Dillinger. He's like, you need to deal with this.
Yeah, he's basically, the program is like, you're too stupid to control me. I can end you in a heartbeat. You need to help me do this and just shut the fuck up.
At that point, as the human, why wouldn't you just deactivate the program?
Turn it off.
Unplug it. Or whatever it is. I don't know how programming works. Give it a virus. I don't know. Give it a cold.
And so... Then we get Flynn at a workstation, at Laura's workstation.
He's all like, babe, sweetie, honey. Like, what is going on?
He wants to stick his digits in her.
I know, but stick to the mission. Like, come on.
He's like 1010. He just wants to be 111111.
Oh my god. Shut up. You're nasty.
He wants to 1 and her 0.
Put your paper away. Come on. No. Rookie mistake.
You ruined my joke.
I saved you from yourself with that joke.
No, that was a good joke.
1.
No. He wants to 1 and her 0.
Yeah, I got it.
That's a good joke.
Put the P in the V. Got it. And so then when Flynn is logging in or whatever on her workstation, the MCP all of a sudden, I'm sorry, Dave, I just can't do that, and zaps him into the thing.
Yeah, he's lasered into a video game.
How does the MCP have control of the laser?
He has control of everything.
It doesn't make any sense.
He's the master control program.
So why doesn't he just delete the file?
Great question.
Like that, why are they holding on to this file of evidence?
Why doesn't he delete everybody?
It doesn't make any sense. And so then...
But see, this is the problem, is that we're talking about a time of limited computing technology and thought, where now our smartphone, not even our smartphone, I would say like your Christmas light controller would destroy this thing. It has more computing power.
It was a weird time.
Yeah, it was a very weird time.
And there's a bunch of weird, trippy sci-fi lasers and animation. I realized it was groundbreaking for the time, but I was like, what is going on right now?
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
And the MCP tells Sark, or, quote, Dillinger, because apparently everybody has an alter ego in this thing.
Yeah, Sark/Dillinger is the worst character in this thing.
He tells him, the MCP tells him you have to train him for the games, because for some reason, instead of just killing him, the MCP is like, I want to see
him die.
But it has to be while he's playing the game.
Yeah. I think it's funny.
Well, I mean, maybe that does track for his weird.
Really? For a computer program?
He's more than a computer program.
He's more. He has it all.
He's just, special. So they're in program jail.
And we meet Tron, and he fights for the users.
Well, no. We don't meet Tron yet. We meet
When we meet Crom and Ram, who cares about
Ram.
them? Yeah, Crom
Ram.
and Ram.
Then they make Flynn go and play the weird... So what is that thing, the game that has the big cup things and it has the ball and you have to, like, throw it to the other person?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, we did this in P.
I think it's just Pong.
No, dude. It's a real thing with real plastic paddles. They're real cup paddles, and they have this wiffle ball.
Like lacrosse, but not lacrosse?
But it literally looks just like the thing that
they
have.
I know what you're talking about, but that's the lame version.
But that was like this, but digital form. And so basically it's...
Except for you have to bounce it off the ceiling.
Yeah, and it may if it hits their thing, it makes the thing disappear.
But he won't kill the program.
The guy who seems like he was a user, but he's not. Whatever.
He's a program. He was a program the whole time.
No, but dude, MCP says I want him to fight somebody of his own kind.
They never did that though. That wasn't the guy.
I know, but it doesn't make sense. He doesn't want to kill this guy. Then they're going back on the train thing or whatever, and he's like, "That's Tron. He fights for the users."
Okay. Even though I have it opposite of you, but that's
fine.
And then we get the light cycles game.
Yeah, and it's confusing because he's like train them, but it's like a real thing.
There's no training ever. Even though they keep saying train him, there's no training.
Prepare to transport to light cycle grid. We have transport.
Wow.
This is Blue Leader to Blue Bikes. Run these guys into your jet walls.
Copy, Blue Leader.
Copy, Blue Leader.
This is Gold 1 to Gold 2 and 3.
Split up. Take them one-on-one.
Yeah, and so he's able to somehow blast through... Oh no, he makes the guy run into the wall.
And break a hole in it.
So that he's able to go off track.
And kill all the other players except for his team of Tron... the team of Tron, Flynn, and Ram.
Yeah.
Ram.
Yeah.
Ram.
Is it Ram or Rom?
It's Ram.
Ram. CD-ROM. Ram. Okay.
Yeah, but RAM, like the memory.
Yeah, got it.
Which is stupid. Like, don't name yourself after a computer part.
He's just a program. He doesn't know any better. And
so they leave the thing, and there's tanks following them all around this fantastical weirdness.
Okay. And Flynn is all, I never should have put those tank things in here. Then you should know how to freaking deactivate them.
Beat them. Yeah.
It was annoying. And then we go to this weird scene where they find a river or a lake, but it's a power source. It's a liquid. Like, what is this supposed to be?
It's water, man.
It's inside of a computer? I don't think so.
It's terrible.
It doesn't make any sense. I feel like I'm in Return to Oz right now. So basically the tanks come and blast them, but Tron gets away, but they think that Ram and Flynn are dead, but they're not really dead.
Well, because they shot them while they were riding the light cycles, but Flynn somehow whisked Ram into the back channels.
And they end up in this, looks like a broken up thing of the field goal post finder people.
Well, really, it doesn't look like anything when they get into it.
No, but
then he starts touching buttons and it turns into a recognizer.
Recognizer, that's what it's called. Okay. Yeah. And he's able to just control it. And so...
But then immediately Ram dies.
Yeah.
For no explicit reason. He's just like, oh.
Are you a user?
Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah. And we flip back over to Tron. He finds some hot chick that's a clone of Laura. Okay.
Well, yeah, he finds Yori, who is Laura.
For fuck's sake.
And what her program is
unclear.
Unclear, to say the least.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're just, my program is hot chick.
And like, how do they know each other?
Yeah, well, she doesn't know him. He only knows her. He's
confusing. Like, how do they know each other? Because
they don't. She doesn't recognize him.
But then all of a sudden she does, doesn't she? She's like, Tron.
Tron is not Flynn.
No, I know that. I'm saying that how do the programs Tron and whatever her face is know each other?
They knew each other ahead of time.
Yeah. That's
they just did.
It's weird. Like, are there bars where they all hang out? I don't know.
Well, obviously they've been working together prior to this.
So weird.
Because then they go to the old guy.
Okay.
And he helps them. He's like, you can pass. Like, what is this, Lord of the Rings?
And he's like a giant sphinx, basically, with a face.
Yeah, attached to a keyboard.
It's very weird.
There's some shit in here that just doesn't make any sense.
I've come to communicate with my user.
Difficult proposition. Difficult proposition at best.
My user has information that could make this a free system again. No, really. Well, you'd have programs lined up just to use this place. And no MCP looking over your shoulder.
Who is your user, program?
Alan 1. He calls me. May I pass?
And in the background, Flynn is flying the recognizer, but really horribly.
Because the thing was missing. That's why. He couldn't figure out why it couldn't fly correctly, but it was because it was missing that piece on the bottom, so it wasn't.
Oh.
It wasn't working correctly the whole time.
Okay.
That's why.
And there's some little sprite thing flopping about. A bit. That's literally.
That was earlier. It was early in the movie when he was like, "Should we pick up this bit?" Oh, sure.
Oh.
It's like somehow the C-3PO and R2-D2 that doesn't track.
Right, because it's only in there for a second, and then it goes
2 different parts,
and then it goes away.
Yeah,
it's just saying yes or no, and it's supposed to be like a comedic bit.
Yeah,
and it's just very strange. Tron is beaming his circle up to speak with
my circle.
to speak with Alan. And Alan just talks to him.
Well, yeah, Alan's like, hey, you have to go and throw your disc exactly into the pinch point of the MCP to kill it. Otherwise, we're fucked, and I'll never talk to you unless you do this.
Yeah, it's just weird. And then I all of a sudden realized that the weird Sphinx gatekeeper guy was actually the old guy from earlier in the movie.
Oh, you didn't realize that right away? Okay, I did.
I was too distracted by the way it was animated.
Gotcha. Yeah, the special effects for everything in the... What do we want to even call that world? Is there a name for it?
I think there's a name in the second one.
I think so too, but in this we'll just call it the MCP world.
Yeah.
In the MCP world... The special effects are weird with all the shadowing of the dudes and...
Yeah. It's very bizarre, and all of the bad guys are coming, and then randomly one of the guards just jumps off and commits suicide. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, randomly, like, because the Tron guy had been fighting and knocked 2 of them over, and then the third one just jumped off.
Maybe it was afraid.
That's what I mean. I think that's what it was supposed to be, but I was like, what is going on? And
then Flynn, like, jumps one of them and turns into one of them somehow.
Yeah, at some point
it doesn't make any sense.
It's pretty muddy through here.
Yeah, this part right here.
Because then Flynn catches up with them, and
they get on a solar sail.
Yeah, I don't even know about that.
And somehow he catches up with them with all the other enemies, and they almost kill him. But he's like, "No, dude, it's me."
Yeah, and at first he's just like, "Oh, right on." And then he almost falls. I'm like, "Why aren't you just pulling him up? What's wrong with you, Tron?"
Yeah. They pull him up, and then he turns blue again for some reason.
You feeling better, Ocho?
It's unexplainable.
It's not explained. Nothing is explained. It's not important.
Yeah,
apparently,
but it is important.
Apparently, it's.
And
not
then
important.
he does this like insane junction power.
Well, yeah, because they're being chased by the giant ship.
Yeah. All the while, the old guy's being tortured or something.
I don't know.
But he's able to put them on a different path.
Yeah.
But yet the ship gets blasted anyways on the different path.
I don't know. And I just kept getting distracted because the way that the chick's outfit was, it just kept making her look like she was wearing granny panties. Like, everything was horrible with her outfit, and it just kept being so distracted. It was horrible.
I did not notice that. I'm surprised. But she was just really kind of like a zero.
It was horrible. And there's a battle between Sark and Tron.
Yeah.
And the MCP gives Sark all of his power, so he becomes this giant lumbering thing. But then Flynn throws himself into the
MCP.
And he's able to shoot.
Part of it.
Yeah, and he's able to shoot, and Tron is able to shoot the disc, and it lands perfectly.
Well, because somehow Flynn is able to stop the shields of Sark, which for some reason he has one open hole in his shields.
Oh, but...
And he can stop it right there and let him do it.
Real quick before I forget, though, I almost forgot the most important part of this climax. Is before Flynn jumps into the force field or whatever, he has time to make out with Chick.
Oh, yeah. He gets to make out with Yori. He's like, yo, bitch, let me get it in.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, and he jumps in, and there's some weird, trippy graphic animations, and then all of a sudden everything goes back to blue instead of red. Like, all the lights change to blue instead of red.
Right.
And then all of a sudden she's making out with Tron.
Right. And she's like, we thought you were dead. Ha!
It's just...
And then, all of a sudden, Flynn is reprinted. And the printer next to him has the evidence that he needs
that doesn't seem like much evidence.
To own NCOM now.
Literally.
So now, all of a sudden, with this printout of paper, Jeff Bridges owns NCOM, and he's like a rock star.
Literally looks like he could have just typed that. Doesn't even make any sense.
Could have been. Nobody knows. Nobody will ever know.
Yeah, there's just some end random scene where he shows up on the helicopter. He's like, all right, I'm the boss.
Yeah, woohoo!
Pick me up in an hour. And that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, it doesn't check out. Because if I'm... this is the last time I'll bring up the second movie.
Is it?
But we start the second movie, he lives in the Matrix, essentially.
Yeah, because Clue, his program, Clue, turned against him and Tron.
Right. And he has a son for some reason who's in charge of the company, but he's like 14. They made some leaps.
I don't know. I just... I have a few awards to give out for this film.
See, I didn't have many, so I hope you have the one.
Well, I have two, and then I have some...
I have two.
And then I have something else. Okay, so I'm going to make my own. It's the What Was Disney Smoking Award for the Sphinx Gatekeeper weird dude that's just a head in a Sphinx body. Like, what is... When that happened, I literally was like, am I...
He was the founder of the company.
I know, but the way that he was animated, I was like, what is going on right now?
He wasn't animated. That was live action.
Okay, whatever. The way the graphics were, he could have just been a statue and it would have made more sense. Like
it was weird. It was weird.
He could have been a voice in like a computer pad. Like it was very bizarre.
So I gave this the wholly confusing lights and beeps to give me a seizure award.
Yeah.
Because most of this seemed to just be lights, beeps, and weirdness where I was like, what the fuck is going on? What's happening? What? Nothing makes sense. Am I having a seizure? Did I stroke out?
They really needed that flashing light sequences warning on this movie.
Yeah, they did, and they didn't.
They didn't have it.
Yeah, they didn't.
My second award is the Treasure Planet All Steak and No Sizzle Award.
Woo!
Is that what you had also?
Yeah, of course.
Because, okay.
What the fuck is this? Like, come on.
No, so here's the thing. It's the same thing with Treasure Planet. It's a really good idea and concept.
Yeah, but there's just nothing they didn't deliver.
The problem with this is that the technology was not there yet to make it awesome.
Oh, I don't think the technology is the problem at all. They didn't bother to write the story to give us the background to make us care.
Yeah, it just was weird. And, like, it was interesting because it's in the MCP world. Some of the programs believe in the users.
Right, we could have gotten some background.
But some of them don't, and it's like, you're not supposed to believe in the users, but it's like, how are you there? They could have dug into that more. And, I don't know, there was just a lot.
There's a lot of significance that was left on the floor.
Yeah. And then I do have some burning unanswered questions that I need to know.
Okay, go ahead.
So if everybody has a doppelganger in there, clearly, all the programs, all the programs are something
They have a user doppelganger, yeah.
So does that mean, in the second movie, Olivia Wilde's program, she has a real person out in the real world somewhere?
I mean, she's probably a porn star or something.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. And
how does Clue being a giant evil program make sense?
Yeah, so that's what I said. If he died in this movie, like,
he didn't die,
doesn't make any sense. I think I'd have to watch it again to catch that. And then
he didn't die like Hop didn't die.
No. Spoiler. And then do the programs age with the users, or do they just stay?
Well, a program is a program is a program.
I know. So but why is the one old guy the old program? It doesn't make any sense. Those are the questions I have that I would like to...
Well, the old guy probably hasn't built a program in 30 years.
Yeah. Your glasses are very askew right now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's fine. They're not doing me any good. They're fucking dirty.
Okay. Biggest surprise or disappointment?
Where's the beef?
Yeah. And... I mean, yeah.
I'm surprised because I liked the other Tron movie a lot more than I like this.
Yeah. And here's my biggest disappointment, actually, aside from the stuff we've already talked about. There was no fucking soundtrack in this movie.
No.
And that's what I was trying to Google before the start of this program. Was 70s/early 80s electronic music, because they could have had something, because the second movie had all the Daft Punk music and it actually was really cool.
Well, this movie had a bunch of Moog synthesizers, but they didn't have any, like, bands that were doing it.
Okay, fun fact. The light cycle scene doesn't have any soundtrack on it, and in the original version it had a soundtrack to it. And it's only available on Laserdisc, apparently.
So they didn't want to pay for it.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
All right.
I feel like the soundtrack, they could have done something. Like, it's the early 80s. You could have had some sort of...
Well, they probably had it. They just didn't want to pay for it.
It's just weird. I don't know. They could have done something with that. So if you remade this movie, did a sequel, what would you do?
Build me something. Give me an extra 10 minutes to build the world up, and give me some rules, and, make it make sense. 10 minutes would all it would take. Hour and 40 minutes instead. Make it make sense.
So here's the thing. This should not be a movie. This whole world would make more sense as like a Mandalorian-style TV show.
That's true. That's a good point.
Like, there's of all these different programs, I mean, you could really expand this. If I'm this program, or I'm that program, or whatever.
And user, like, really define the difference between a user and a program. I mean, obviously there is a difference, but if a user goes into that world, they should have a significant advantage.
Right. And so
and spell that out. Like, show me.
There's just, I feel as though it's better fit for a TV show.
Okay, fair enough. You have any final thoughts, Kat?
Not really. I'm just pretty disappointed, because I just feel like this is a weird choice for them then to invest in a ride and make a sequel. Like, it's...
Well, I think the ride is more based on the sequel than this.
I know, but it's... Why did they even go down that route?
I think they're going to make a third one.
Probably, but it's just...
Based on what I saw looking up the stuff, it looks like Tron Legacy.
That's the second one, honey.
Wait, no, it looked like there was a third one that they're about to make.
Right, but it's... Why... Like, if this did so bad, like, why did they... I don't know.
I think this might have been a cult classic.
Yeah, maybe. Weird choice for a cult classic, but okay.
I'm just going to say, beam me up, Laura.
Yikes. Yikes.
So, Kat, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score?
Wait, we didn't do the budget.
Oh, okay. So did you get a budget for this film?
No, I'm just kidding, I did. $17 million, and they made just over $33 million.
So they did just fine.
No, according to them, they didn't make enough money.
Yeah, that's bullshit. They did just fine. Like, I'm so sick of, doubling our money wasn't enough. Doubling your money is fine.
Yeah.
They did just fine with this movie.
Yeah.
So what about the Rotten Tomatoes score? What do you think?
Honestly, I'm at a complete loss on this one, so I'm just going to throw it out there like an 82%, the year it came out.
No. So with the critics, this gets a 72, and the people a 69.
Yeah, that's... I mean, not
but Kat,
what I would give it.
If you gave it a score, what would you give it?
Most of this rating is based on the concept and the idea.
I'll agree with that when I say mine.
But this is not a very good movie. Like, it's really not. It just has so many things that are just weird. I gave it a 52%.
Wow.
Or 5.2 out of 10. I forgot to write a thing for it. So 5.2 out of 10.
Flashing lights.
Unexplained world building misses.
So I gave it a 53.1%.
Oh, shut up. So we felt the same about it.
Yeah. I enjoyed a lot of the things. At the end of the day, it's not a good movie.
I want to like it more because I like the idea and the concept. It's really cool.
The problem is we both really like the sequel. I think we both gave the sequel like a deep 70s, 80s
Even
score.
Though I was confused in part of the sequel.
Well, yeah. The whole Tron universe is fucking confusing.
But it's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Especially, I think, now because...
Let's go inside of computers, man.
Well, because computers are so integral to our life, it's just, it would make sense for there to be a whole universe in there of operating with, systems and stuff. Like, it makes complete sense. And that's why I like the concept, but there's just so much missing.
Fair enough.
It's disappointing.
And so, speaking of computers, it's now time for Kat's favorite part of the podcast.
How is that speaking of computers?
Because the random number generator.
Oh. Well, so why is it called Tron?
Oh.
Just because of the one guy?
Because the guy was Tron, yeah. So this week we get number 248. Sounds like we got that already.
Just sounds like...
Oh, no, we did not.
You already...
I just looked.
God damn it,
I'm fast, because I know how to do it.
Okay, well, we both saw it, so... One movie before The Country Bears.
Number 248, Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, okay. I will say this. I only saw this movie one time, and it was a long time ago, and a lot of people fucking love this movie.
Yeah, I feel like this movie's literally beloved.
But when I saw it for the first time... I really hated it.
Wow.
And maybe it just caught me at a weird age or at a weird time in my life.
So, in 2008, you were...
I was
19?
I was a senior in high school. 18, so...
Yeah, okay. Kat was angsty.
I don't know. I just remember watching it and being very unimpressed. But I've only seen it the one time, so I'm going to go into this with a complete open mind. I feel like you have to kind of know the rough of what this is about, right?
I just know there's I know there's a little girl and a little monster. And that's it. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it is. It just... I've seen the girl and the monster.
I feel like you're going to like it from what I remember.
What about you? Are you going to like it?
I don't know. I just remember at the time when I first saw it, I was like, I really don't like this movie.
I can't see me liking it and you not liking it.
You hit the ball. You'll see.
It's very rare that happens.
So, we'll see. I'm going to go with an open mind.
We'll see.
Ow.
It almost seems impossible that you wouldn't like this on a second viewing.
So that's why I'm going to go into it with an open mind. And, it's not been my favorite movie in the past, but I've only seen it literally one time.
Yeah, which I feel like as a high school senior doesn't really count.
So I will give it a rewatch.
You'll stitch it up. In the meantime, subscribe, give us 5 stars on your favorite podcast app.
Leave us a review. Those are always fun.
Super helpful. Send us an email, disneyoddpod@gmail.com. And, as always, this has been Disney Odd Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm D.
Bye! that better?
You did it weird, but that's fine.
How did I do it weird?
You were like, bye!
I'm trying not to laugh. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. It was
It's a
funny.
simple bye. It's
Yeah, I know. I got it. But, you know, when
you just
at,
couldn't do it.
when you have the giggles and you can't stop.
Yeah. Oh, it's just bye.
Oh, I wasn't ready. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I wasn't ready. Okay, do it again. I'm ready now.
Bye.
What? Did I not do it right?
You went bye.
Oh, sorry.
That was terrible. That was fucking terrible.
Okay.
You'll hear it and you'll be like, what was I doing?
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Go ahead,
I'm serious
go
now.
ahead. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to keep it together until we're done. Okay, go.
And for now, this has been Disney Odd Pod. What's going on here?
I'll explain in a minute.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Like, wow, I didn't think my wife was that kind of gal.
What kind of gal?
With the weird music.
That's a lot you don't know about me.
Bullshit. God, I need to get my glasses.
What?
Nothing.
Jesus.
What? Who said so? Oh, hey, boo boo. JK. Hey, boo boo.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's go get us a picnic basket.
What? What is that? Is it like Yogi Bear? Or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, what the fuck is
What do you
going
mean? Is that Yogi Bear? Of course it's Yogi Bear.
I don't know.
Who else is getting a picnic basket?
That's before my time. I wasn't alive yet. I'm not ancient like
I
you.
wasn't alive then either. What are you talking about? I only saw it on reruns.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Dooba dooba doo. Sabby dooba da. Dooba doo wop da. Yeah.
Okay.
Dooba dooba doo. Sally dooba wah. There's a place that is magical and full of rain.
Reading Rainbow, right?
No.
What
It's
is
the
it?
Save the Rainforest South Park song.
I thought that was the Reading Rainbow song.
No.
It has kind of the same tune, doesn't it, a little bit?
No. Reading Rainbow has the big bass line.
Well, it's no much fun.
Did you send a picture of that to Alex?
No, it's not a coffee cup.
Doesn't matter. You just do it anyways.
Okay, hold on. And then we gotta get going, but hold on. Not a coffee cup, but it makes an excellent cider glass. And it's making an appearance on the podcast. What the fuck are you doing? Oh. That's right. Thank you. What about Never Ending Story?
Oh, story.
Okay. Alright.
Terrible movie.
No, I just more meant the Stranger Things
Yeah,
part.
no, I know.
I like
but,
that.
But it just, that's what bothered me. It's like, God, I didn't like that movie when I was a kid. And then they went with the song. And it's just like, what?
Okay.
Let's do this.
Are you ready?
Do it. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Was that their motto?
Yeah, it was.
You know, I've never had a Godfather's Pizza.
I think it was the best.
I know that they used to have the commercial all the time with like the dessert pizza.
Oh, the dessert pizza was
and
awesome.
I always wanted to go there, and my mom was like, "It's too far away."
No. Godfather's, I think, was definitely my favorite pizza until it just went away.
Is there one still around?
There's one in Tacoma somewhere.
We should go.
Yeah, we should. I doubt it'll be the same.
It'll probably taste like garbage.
Yeah, but
hot cardboard on a stick.
They had really good sausage, and the way that they made their pizza was like in between a thin crust and a thick crust, just right. It's good. It's good.
An average crust.
Well, yeah, but it had like that, still kind of like that pan-ishness to it, but not like the fluff. Mm. It had a hard crust, but not fluffy.
I feel like I remember seeing that. Like almost like on the, not fluffy like the Detroit style, but kind of crispy on the outside like that.
Yeah, it was crispy but not fluffy, and it was good. It was good.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
She says, LOL, super cute!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hi, Alex.
Yeah, hi. At the end of the episode, hi, Alex.
That way we'll know if you're actually listening, even though you say you do. Lying bitch. Okay.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Are you ready?
Love you. Okay, yes.
Lying bitch.
Shut up.